ChatGPT just opened ads to every business in the US. Zero competition right now means the cheapest clicks you'll ever get on this platform. Here's how to be first. The minimum spend collapsed in 4 months. January and February 2026, $200,000 minimum, enterprise pilots only. April 2026, $50,000. May 2026, effectively zero on self-serve. Any US business with a credit card can launch a campaign today. Fidji Simo, OpenAI's CEO of applications and the architect of this ad product, has been deliberate about the positioning. ChatGPT Ads is, in her words, intent-based, not profile-based. That single distinction is going to define this entire video. As of May 2026, this is the most watched new ad channel since TikTok Ads launched in 2019. All 4 major agency holding companies are running pilots. Best Buy and Target already have live campaigns. OpenAI is telling investors they expect $2.5 billion in ad revenue this year, scaling toward $100 billion by 2030. History gives us a pattern here. Facebook ads in 2012, Google Shopping in 2013, TikTok ads in 2019. Every time a major platform opened advertising, there was a golden window, massive audience, low competition, cheap acquisition cost, before sophisticated bidders arrived and optimized away the easy wins. This is that window, happening right now for ChatGPT. Here's the single most important thing to understand before you build your first campaign. Because the targeting mechanics on ChatGPT are fundamentally different from anything on Google or Meta. ChatGPT Ads is intent-based, not profile-based. There's no keyword targeting. No demographic targeting beyond a simple under 18 exclusion. No audience uploads, no customer match, no lookalike audiences. At least not yet. No documented retargeting or pixel-based audience building. What ChatGPT actually reads is the conversation itself. 3 signals determine whether your ad shows: the current thread, what the user is actually asking right now; historical personalization, previous chat history, for users who haven't opted out; and engagement feedback, how similar ad units have performed with similar conversational contexts in the past. Here's the conceptual distinction that matters. Google understands what content is about. Meta understands who you are based on years of accumulated behavioral data across platforms. ChatGPT understands what you're trying to accomplish in this specific conversation right now, without building a persistent cross-session profile of you as an individual. The practical implication for a small advertiser: this creates a more level playing field. You can't outbid your way into a placement that doesn't fit the conversation. Relevance is the gatekeeper, not budget. A precisely written context hint from a small business can win the placement over a vague, generic context hint from a company with 10 times the budget. That has never been true on Google or Meta at this stage of platform maturity. Let's put all 3 platforms side by side, because understanding the differences is what lets you allocate budget intelligently across your existing channels. Google Shopping targets explicit search intent. A user types a query, your product feed matches keywords and shopping behavior, and you compete in a keyword-based auction. CPC ranges from 50 cents to $3 or more depending on category, mature, predictable, heavily optimized after over a decade of advertiser sophistication. Meta Ads targets accumulated behavioral profiles. Years of cross-platform interest data, demographic layering, lookalike audiences built from your best customers, retargeting pixels tracking site visitors. CPM typically runs $6 to $10. This is the most data-intensive targeting model of the 3. ChatGPT Ads targets real-time conversational meaning. Context hints describe scenarios, not keywords. No accumulated profile, no demographic layering, no audience upload tools yet. Current CPC sits at $3 to $5, CPM between $25 and $60 depending on category, And that number is already falling from the $60 launch price as more inventory becomes available. The format itself is distinct too. A tinted box, a clearly labeled sponsored card appearing after the AI's response. OpenAI has been firm on one structural rule. Ads never influence what the AI actually says in its answer. The ad is a separate, clearly marked element. Two more details worth knowing. Health, finance, and political topics are currently excluded from advertising, subject to change as the platform matures. And only free and Go tier users see ads at all. Plus, Pro, Business, and Enterprise subscribers never see sponsored content. Let's go deeper on why this specific moment matters more than it will in 6 months. Every major ad platform in history has followed the same arc. Facebook ads in 2012 delivered extraordinary returns for advertisers willing to experiment before the auction matured. Google Shopping in 2013 offered the same. TikTok ads in 2019 repeated the pattern again. In each case, massive new audience, genuinely low competition, and acquisition costs that never returned to those early levels once sophisticated bidders entered the market. The closest comparator we currently have for LLM advertising specifically is Microsoft Copilot, which has been running ads since 2023, the only mature LLM ad channel before ChatGPT. Their reported results? 69% higher click-through rate and 76% higher conversion on lower funnel ad types compared to traditional Bing search ads. That's the kind of performance lift conversational, intent-based targeting can deliver once the format is understood. Here's the honest part. As of right now, the auction mechanics, the CPM benchmarks, and the CPC norms on ChatGPT ads are still genuinely unsettled. That's not a reason to wait. It's the opportunity itself. Every platform goes through a period of relative inefficiency before the market prices it correctly. The advertisers who learn the format during that inefficient period are the ones who benefit from it permanently. The right mental framing for your first $50 to $100. Treat it as a learning budget, not a performance budget. You're not trying to hit positive ROAS on day one. You're trying to understand the mechanics before everyone else does. If you're already running Google Shopping or Performance Max for e-commerce, you have a significant head start most advertisers don't, and you can be live on ChatGPT Ads in about 10 minutes. Step 1. 2 minutes. Export your existing Merchant Center feed, title, description, price, image, and availability. This is the same data structure ChatGPT's product feed integration expects. Step 2. 3 minutes. Review your product titles for one thing specifically. ChatGPT reads for contextual relevance, not keyword matching. So titles that were optimized for keyword stuffing in Google Shopping should be cleaned up to read naturally, like a description a person would actually say, not a string of search terms. Step 3. 3 minutes. Upload that feed into ChatGPT's Ads Manager. The format requirements closely mirror what Google Merchant Center already accepts, so this step is mostly confirmation, not rebuilding. Step 4. 2 minutes. Write 5 to 8 context hints based on buyer scenarios, not the search themes you used for Performance Max. User comparing project management tools for a remote team is a context hint. Project management software is a keyword. They're not the same thing, and writing keywords where context hints belong is the most common early mistake. If you already have a working product catalog, you've already done the hard part. This is reuse, not rebuild. Here's the exact sequence for launching your first $50 test, from sign-up to live campaign. Step 1. Create your account at ads.openai.com. U.S. business entity, credit card, no minimum spend required on self-serve. Roughly 30 minutes including verification. Step 2. Build a minimal campaign structure. One campaign, one ad group, 2 to 3 ads with different headline variations. You're gathering signal, not running a mature, fully optimized account. Step 3, and this is the one that requires the most thought. Write your context hints. Not keyword phrases, full scenario descriptions written from your customer's perspective during their research process. Instead of email marketing tool, write user comparing automation tools for a small service business with a limited budget. The more specifically you describe the conversational moment your product is relevant to, the better the match. Step 4. Write your chat card copy with the right tone. This is being read by someone who just received a thoughtful, unbiased answer from the AI to something they genuinely care about. Your ad needs to feel substantive and honest, not interruptive. Lead with specific value. Avoid generic claims. Copy that overpromises loses relevant signal quickly, and the system stops showing it. This is structurally different from display advertising, where overpromising at least gets impressions. Step 5. Set your budget. $10 a day for 5 days equals $50 total. CPC bid in the $4 to $5 range. Install OpenAI's Conversions API before you spend a single dollar. This is non-negotiable for accurate measurement. Step 6. Build a dedicated landing page tagged with UTM source equals ChatGPT before launch. Standard click attribution will undercount this channel's actual performance if you don't set this up in advance. I want to be direct about urgency here, because waiting has a real cost on this specific platform. CPM at launch in February 2026 was $60 flat, enterprise pricing, no negotiation. Today, in the self-serve era, it's $25 to $60 depending on category, and already trending downward as more advertisers learn the platform exists. The auction is relevance-weighted and second price, which means the less competition exists for your specific context, the cheaper your effective cost, even at the same bid amount. Every advertising platform in history followed the same trajectory. Prices stay low for roughly 6 to 18 months after a self-serve launch, then rise permanently once sophisticated bidders enter and the format matures. There's no reason to expect ChatGPT Ads to be the exception. A few features specifically aren't live yet, and that absence is currently working in your favor. Multi-turn conversation retargeting is scheduled for Q4 2026. Audience syncing, uploading first-party customer lists similar to Facebook custom audiences, is planned for later in 2026 as well. Right now, neither exists, which keeps the competitive field artificially narrow. Once these tools arrive, larger advertisers with bigger first-party data assets gain structural advantages they don't currently have. Right now, the advertisers who understand how to write a strong context hint have a real edge over those who don't, regardless of budget size. That edge narrows every week more brands figure out the format. The cost of waiting isn't zero. It's measured in rising CPC and shrinking relative advantage. Not every business should launch a campaign today, and being honest about that saves you wasted budget. The categories getting the most value right now? B2B software, professional services, premium consumer goods, education, and financial services. Anywhere the purchase decision is complex, and the buyer typically researches across multiple sessions before deciding. These are exactly the environments where someone is asking detailed comparative questions in ChatGPT. The kind of rich conversational context that makes a well-matched ad genuinely useful rather than intrusive. Categories that should likely wait. Impulse e-commerce and mass-market consumer products, where the buying decision doesn't involve the kind of extended research conversation ChatGPT's targeting model depends on. The signal-to-noise ratio is currently lower here until the format options and targeting sophistication expand further. A reminder on exclusions. Health, finance, and political topic categories are currently not eligible for advertising at all, though OpenAI has signaled this may change as the platform matures and they gather more performance data. Geography. Currently US-focused, with Canada, Australia, and New Zealand confirmed as expansion markets starting March 2026. If your customer typically researches before buying, comparing options, asking follow-up questions, working through a decision over time, you're in the category this platform was built for. Start there. 3 things. These are the ones that matter for the next 30 days. Number 1. The barrier dropped from $200,000 to effectively zero in 4 months. This is the broadest self-serve opening any major ad platform has had since TikTok ads in 2019, and every previous platform's cheapest acquisition cost was during its earliest window, never after. Number 2. Context replaces profile. No keywords to bid on, no demographic layering, no audience uploads or lookalikes yet. ChatGPT matches ads to conversation meaning in real time. That structurally favors precise, honest context hints over large budgets with vague targeting, a genuinely different competitive dynamic than Google or Meta offer at this stage. Number 3. If you already run Google Shopping or Performance Max, your product feed is most of the way to ready. Format reuse takes 10 minutes, not hours. There's no infrastructure excuse left for delaying your first test. This window has happened 3 times before in digital advertising history. Each time, the businesses that showed up early paid less forever. This is the 4th time. Here's what to do this week. Download the ChatGPT Ads Quick Launch Checklist from the description. It walks through the Context Hints worksheet, the exact feed reuse steps if you're coming from Performance Max, chat card copy templates, a $50 budget allocation guide, and the measurement setup checklist, conversions API and UTM tagging, to do before you spend anything. Before you write a single context hint, use SEMrush to understand what your potential customers are actually researching and comparing in your category. The same product feed and keyword intelligence that powers your shopping campaigns translates directly into the conversational scenarios ChatGPT's context matching is built to find. Link in the description. Then go to ads.openai.com and create your account. Self-serve, no minimum, live in under an hour. The auction is still relatively uncontested. The CPCs are still at early market levels. The inventory, 800 million weekly users, high-intent research conversations, is premium. This combination of conditions doesn't last. History says it never does. Test with $50. Get real data. Decide whether to scale before your competitors even know this option exists. This video is for educational purposes only. ChatGPT Ads platform features, pricing, and availability change frequently as the platform remains in active beta. This is not professional advertising or financial advice. Statistics and platform details sourced from Adventure Media, Dash 2, Impressive Digital, Digital Applied, Big Boy Media Group, and Greg Howell's ChatGPT Ads Research Compilation, January through May 2026.